going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and I thought that a fun thing to do today would be, after the beautiful thing that is the ban list, I would just showcase some replays that I have saved up for you guys for a while now. I do apologize. I have a lot of things going on right now. I will be moving soon. Shut up. So I just been doing a lot of stuff, kind of focusing on the main channel, but I will be eventually putting more stuff on this channel. But I saved this replay because it is a 40-turn duel. That's right, 40-turn duel that I want to show you guys of one of my favorite decks, a deck that I'm still working on editing and just having a bunch of fun, and hopefully you guys find it fun too. Now, how does a deck turn 40? How do you even have a 40-turn duel? Like this deck is kind of like the last deck that I've been really hyping on. It's gonna be the scFrame deck. There's a certain thing that I've noticed that people do, and I actually don't remember this. This is about almost 2 weeks old. So luckily I get the scFrame circuit early in the match, which is fantastic. We're sitting here with Epsilon and Delta. If you guys don't know how this deck works, I do have a video on it, but pretty much I have a trap negate and a spell negate. This is the spell, this is the trap, and then this is not a negate, but a prevention of my thing here getting taken away, because that's what happens. So I'm hoping that he plays a spell or a trap right here. He does not. 9 times out of 10, what I've noticed when I started playing this deck, as soon as they see this card, they freeze. And this is kind of like how you can tell why the turns go up. Now I have the beta. Beta is a attack negate. So I'm kind of waiting for him to do something, and it begins. We're going back and forth. And that's what kind of sucks about this deck. I feel like when you do run scFrame, once they see the spell, the field card, they don't want to do anything. I also cheekily put my Psychic Path face down to make it seem like I got this fun little trap, but I don't. I don't. Now we have Alpha, Beta, Delta, and E. We have everything. We have everything. We're just waiting for him to play a card. And what this is doing, I don't want to even pause it because there's so many turns, but what he's doing, which is smart. If you ever fight against this deck, not that you need tips, but if you ever fight against this deck, one of the best things to do is to wait until you have a big plan of attack. Also, if you're using this deck, one of the best things to do is to put the scFrames in the graveyard, because these cards pull the scFrame from anywhere except the banish, just so a heads up. So right now it's just me and him going back and forth. He's setting up for a big thing, so this is why I like this, because he's setting it up. I got the scFrame Overlord, one of the best cards in the deck as well. They didn't banish this to 2? How could they? So scFrame Overlord I activated just to flip it face up so I can start utilizing it. It does allow, I have to banish a face up card. Oh no, sorry, I could actually start banishing his card. So what I like about it is that I still can't see, but I'm starting to banish his cards because he's not playing anything. So I'm gonna start throwing some stuff away, kind of forcing him to start playing something. He's like, nah, I don't feel like playing anything. I'm like, all right, that card you just put down, bye, goodbye. And I'm keeping the things, since he has traps, I'm keeping those. I threw away the beta. I can get them back with Psychic Path, as you see me do here. So technically I can keep doing this for a couple more turns, just slowly banishing his back row, trying to force him to do something, because at this point he needs to do something. But he's like, no, I got this. He still has 5 cards in his hand, 4 cards in the back row, 1 card face down. I'm like, okay, all right, to each his own. I drew to another Delta, so I was like, okay, I'll throw away Delta, make it seem like I don't have another Delta, maybe letting him seem like it's good to play a magic card. He's like, no, I'm fine. As the game keeps going, now I drew Gamma. I literally have every single one, I think, in my hand. Throw away the multi-threader, because obviously he hasn't threatened any of my magic or traps, and I don't have a monster on the field. And this is the biggest weakness of this deck, is that people can do this to you. And this is why I've been thinking about a card I'll show. I replaced it because I don't want to mill a card from my hand, so I replaced the thing. Now this is why I wanted to add a card called Psychic Field Zone. I'll show it after, and it's why I really want to have it in this deck, because even right now, Psychic Field Zone, I would be able to make a 8 synchro right now. Draw the Metaverse, easy card that I can place down, and he's just continues to do this. I don't remember what turn he decides to come out of his shell, but eventually he does. So let's just fast forward to that. Oh, I got the Side Reflector. I remember that. So now we're going through the Side Reflector loop. As soon as I want to fast forward, right? Side Reflector loop, which is going to allow me to actually get Lambda on the field. No point of actually synchroing at this point. Okay, I synchroed. When you're watching on replay, like, there's no reason to do that. I can start pinging his stuff away. I think Lambda still would have been the better choice here, But since I am able to do that, so he had an effect dealer face down. I'm gonna ping one of his cards because I need to know what he's actually playing. I need to know what he's playing. So I sniped the effect dealer. I was able to snipe Nibiru with Omega. So I'm starting to say, okay, I still have no information. I have no information at this point. So no, Omega comes back. He gets his Nibiru back. Okay, attack this, and it's gonna be Shadal. I'm like, okay. Gonna snipe another card. Now utilize this card. Now what this card allows you to do is that you can take one of your side frame units and banish it and into your standby phase. And then if a card does get banished, if a face-up frame card leaves the field, you can special summon a frame card. So it's starting to allow me to kind of open up my side, allow me to special summon some of these cards from my hand while he's still doing nothing. And again, we don't really know what he's up to, but we do know that, you know, he has Nibiru. So starting to play around. So we see Shadal. I see 2 Shadal cards at this point. So now it lets me get the Delta, Beta. Lets me get, now I do Lambda. Because now we have a little bit of information. Attack that. He's going to be able to use it. Okay, he doesn't. So it goes Lightning Storm. I have Delta. We're going to stop that. Now with Lambda on the field, he activates that. We can stop that as well. I don't know if I choose to or not. I choose not to. Because Shadal Core is just a monster that pops up on the field. We hit that. Now with the Psychic Circuit, we can make it 8 cost. He's going to do the Schism. I probably negate that. Yes. Thank you, me. Thank you, past me. I appreciate you. So we're going to negate that one because that card's a continuous trap, so you can actually keep using it over and over again. It's a nightmare. So boom, we're going to do that. We're going to use Draco. So if we see him use a card, now he tries to Nibiru me, but we have that Forbidden Droplet, but there's really no reason for him to do that. The Gambit is still in my hand, so he can't negate it. So he just opts to negate this card. It is his turn, so I guess that's the reason why he decided to do that. Anyway, gonna get the Synchro off. I do need to have some other Synchros here to maybe take away these 8, make some 10 costs if I can. Shadal Construct coming in the building. And funds begins because now... Oh, and that's probably why he actually negated this in there. What makes this card so annoying is that if it battles a special summon monster, it just kills it straight up. It's a very pesky card. So even though we're starting to pick up, now that Duel's actually starting to pick up a little bit, it's still a battle between us right now. I do have some negates, but I've used a couple of them already. Now he's going through things. He's going through things. The dragon gets to ping my card. I'm gonna Stardust Dragon that. Because that's only once per turn. Stardust will be coming back. So now we're good. Remember, it's still his turn actually at this point. He's going to actually Monster Reborn my Stardust Dragon, I think, right? So that's kind of where one of his mistakes is. I get the Alpha now. Get my Gamma. Gonna Synchro those off. Gonna get Zeta. Now Zeta, what's really cool about Zeta is that I can... I was like, no, you're not gonna do that. And I use my Side Frame Lord to just straight up banish his card. And since I did Lambda's effect, I get to get a Side Frame card from my thing. Now, Upstart Goblin, give him back 1,000. He's gonna Schism. Banish 2 from his graveyard, make Al Capone? What? And that was actually like fast. Let me just explain that, what happened right there. So this card, when it's special summon, I could take a face-up card and just immediately just negate its effect. No, it was the other card. I think it was the dragon. He was able to just remove this card straight up from the field, unfortunately. No, sorry, it's Schism. I remember now. I'm getting flashback. Right here, I didn't know that, or else I would have taken this card out, or would have tried to prevent it. But when he does this, he can't. The card can't attack directly. Then you could send to the graveyard one monster the opponent controls with the same attribute. So he summoned a Dark, and Tenki is Dark, so he was able to snipe that card out. I did not know that at the time, so I got that kind of screwed. Right now we're going through this thing's effect, so he's going to take a face-up card and negate its effects, and that's kind of what he's doing right now. And I'm activating Lambda's effect, but I'm going to negate this straight out by just using Gamma. He's going to Stardust my Gamma, but the funny part of that is, we'll see in a second, is that technically wasn't the right thing. I'm going to use Omega to snipe a card in his hand, just whittling his options. He has another Nibiru, so we sniped a Nibiru, which is hilarious. He's still able to stop my Gamma. Lambda actually was negated by his other card. I tried to attack this, but this card... what is this, the end phase? Funny, the end phase, because since it was activated, his effect was activated, still my card, went to the graveyard, it's still my card, so I get my Stardust back, funny enough. This card cannot be destroyed by battle, so me attacking into it means nothing, and then now we're back at that same standstill. So he actually does the Magical Meltdown, goes Shadal Fusion. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Al Capone. He's putting them in defense mode, and now he gets to, like he said, he still gets to remove one on my card. But I don't have a Dark Monster on the field, so then he's stacking, effect stacking. If you guys don't know what that is, it's literally stacking effects, so you can't negate like a certain card, so it's very hard to do that because they all activate almost at the same time. So he is negating a lot of cards, but I think it's only for that one turn. No. So he's negating, actually, no, very specific. So when this card comes out, it changes the face-up card and negates this effect. So this is negated. He negated this card, my Frame Accelerator. I think he negated this? No, just this. Okay, I think that's the only one that's negated right now. This one I stopped. And then I think this one he negated, so I can't use that effect. Tries to destroy something, I'm going to Stardust Dragon it. I like Stardust a lot. Clear Wing or Crystal Wing or whatever like that is a little bit different, but I do thoroughly enjoy that one. He actually has the grass looks greener, but wasn't able to utilize that. Lambda comes out, and then we're just doing the same cycles, keeping our cards in our hand, keeping the gates on the field. I have my alpha, I have my beta. Luckily, this card doesn't need to be in the extra monster zone to do that. Actually, just Alistair. I'm like, oh boy, I have nightmares of Alistair, and he's gonna use this card. Must be fusing summon. When a special summon monster activates its effect while you have a Shadow card in your hand, you can negate the activation if you destroy that monster. Then send one Shadow card from the hand to the graveyard. This card is sent to the graveyard. You could target one of these spell traps and then add it. So he's doing the best that he can right now, and I like it. He's doing the best that he can. I'm gonna actually just remove that straight from play with the side frame lord because I can. I'm gonna Mega Snipe another card in his hand. I constantly keep sniping his Nibiru. Not that I'm special summoning all too much anyway. I'm gonna special summon this. Cycle Threader is gonna come out. Metaverse, I'm just gonna activate it. I need to thin my deck out. I'm actually super thin out. As you can see, I have 10 cards. He has 25. He has a big deck. Gonna synchro those off. I think make a Black Rose Dragon. Now, the reason why I'm using Black Rose Dragon here is because with Multi-Threader, if you read it, it's a cool thing. Multi-Threader, it actually protects all my side frame cards. If a side frame card or cards will be destroyed by battle or a card effect, doesn't matter if it's my opponent's or not, I can discard it instead. So that's why I actually put Black Rose in this deck, is because I've done this multiple times, and you're gonna see it right now. Gonna activate that. He changed this, which makes absolutely no sense. He changed it to put a monster out, Winda. Well, it can't be destroyed by battle effects, right? So it actually gets to stay. All my side frame cards that have side frame in the name get to stay because of the Multi-Threader. So now he just has this, and he's doing his cycles with all the effects that just went to the graveyard. And I'm like, okay, but that really doesn't mean anything. We're gonna attack for that. He gets another card into his thing. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Attack with that. Attack with that. And because of the Lambda, I get another one. I'm constantly cycling, which is a little bit bad. I am cycling in it, so I'm really low on cards right now. Super low on cards. Tries to do that. Still has a Nibiru in his hand because we keep sniping it. And again, we're going to start putting those remove from play cards back in my hand with the Psychic Path. I love that card. Great addition to this deck. I think that people should run. Get my Multi-Threader back, and I get a Trap Negate back. Use that to negate its face up. I'm going to use it one last time before it gets negated. I should have used it on this. I think that was kind of foolish of me, and I think I realized that. Schism. I can't use it because my board is full. So he actually did that smart, and he gets a free Shadal, and he gets to send it to the graveyard. That's fine. I get to use Omega's effect, putting Gamma back into my deck, allowing me to resummon Omega. And I do the same thing with Zeta, put Gamma back in my head, so I attack it just so I could use Gamma, which is fun. Attack it just so I could use Gamma, just to negate it and kill it automatically. So he gets to utilize it in the graveyard. I don't care. But we were able to abuse its automatic effect, something that he can't choose to do. And then we're going to do Rudy Rose Dragon. Rudy Rose Dragon reads, which is hilarious. If the card is single summon, you can banish all cards from the graveyards. Then if this card was single summon using Black Rose Dragon, which it wasn't, or Planet Synchro, which it wasn't, destroy all other cards on the field. When your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card, it's another negate. You can tribute this card and then special summon a Black Rose Dragon from the extra deck of the graveyard, which we do have. But I wanted to banish his entire grave because it's just obnoxious. It's obnoxious everything that he's doing. So I thought that this would be a fantastic thing to do. This card's still going to be a problem. Yes, I lose my cards that are removed from play as well, but I have a little bit more ways of utilizing it. So I think that it's more of a hindrance to him. Look at that. This effect is so slow. So everything is now banished from both graveyards. So for him, he can't utilize this. I read this card. I made sure to read this card because this is only fusing stuff that's on the field or the graveyard. So he can only utilize not that much. We know that Nibiru is in his hand, and he's pretty screwed at this point. Like, it's not much that he's going to be able to do once I get something for this card. End my turn, get the Gamma that I put back into my deck, and I still have Overload. Get the Beta. 4 cards left in my deck. Psychic Path, get some of the stuff back. Now, I don't think I have that much cycling outside of doing that, so we just start attacking him down. 3 cards left in the deck. Infinite Impermanence just to negate that, which makes no sense. I mean, technically, it does stop me from negating something, but... Oh, no, he used it because it negates the Psychic Overlord, but we're still going to push for damage on that. Fantastic. I love duels like that. That's kind of what people, I feel like, wish dueling was. They kind of wish dueling was that impressive, but unfortunately, that impressive. Let me patting myself on the back. But unfortunately, it's like, it's so funny because like it's just hard to get matches where both people are kind of evenly matched. He was able to do a bunch of stuff with his Shadal deck. It was I can actually check, right? Confirmed deck. I can actually check. So he's running the 60 card pile. He was definitely I saw it, right? The grass looks greener. I feel like everyone says it incorrectly. Like grass looks greener, that grass looks greener specifically. So he's running a decent pile deck, and if he gets a couple hits of those Shadals going to the graveyard, it would have been a nightmare. But his deck was standing out. He was at like 20 something cards, so he definitely was able to use a decent amount of his deck. But unfortunately, we had so much negate, so much nonsense that he would have to deal with. It was just a nightmare for him to get around. And then he waited, which I do think that was the correct decision. You guys let me know in the comment section. Was that correct? Would you guys have just ran at the wall? Because that's what Psyframe is. It's like you have to run at the wall and hope that I run out of negates and stuff like that. I do still think that I have to maybe edit to just tweak it a little bit so I have enough stuff like to do. I think that I don't think I need to run 3 Zetas. I don't think I need to run 3 Zetas. I probably could get away with running less, and then maybe like you saw, like maybe getting a 10 cost synchro in there, some other things like that. But I think that this Rudy Rose and this is Rudy Rose, and then Black Rose Dragon is a card that I think more people should slot into the deck. Also, like I said, this card, I think people are sleeping on this card. I'm gonna actually start to use it because I think it's good for this deck because I like Psyframe a lot, and I think it's also good for Virtual World. Select 2 of your removed from play monsters. It has to just be a Psychic Tuner and a non-tuner. Return them to the graveyard and special summon a Psychic Synchro from your monster from your extra deck in face-up defense position whose levels equal those 2. So you pretty much just do a Synchro from the banish, and this cards, when you use them by themselves, they just go remove from play anyway. So then you could bring out one of these cards, and I think it's it's only 2. So but you can still do some other climbs as well. I do think that it's an underrated thing, but like I said, that I think this also works in Virtual World as well. Because Virtual World, the tuners, this one, the Mahime is a tuner. Roshi, gonna go down to 2, is also a tuner. And if you have some of the other ones in there, I think that then you can make a one, and it's a free card. I feel like it's a good, I think 1 or 2 of. I think that you could draw into the hand, and it will do a lot of work for you. Anywho, that's gonna be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know by liking, commenting, and subscribing and all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.